I think we are live already. Let me check. Yes, we are live. Okay, hi everyone. Very good morning. Today is a good day as markets are also open. And as I promised last weekend, I would be going live every Saturday morning, 11:30 a.m. So I'm here for another 10-15 minutes. Would be live, would answer any questions if you guys have. I'll keep on checking the chat on YouTube in case you are asking any questions. And I will also be sharing a couple of updates uh, on our rebalances, which we have done yesterday. I mean, on 18th for our monthly portfolios, which means that they were effective as of yesterday morning. And therefore, today is also a good day to invest in our monthly portfolios, monthly small cases. Let me just check the chat if anybody is here. Okay, yeah, so it is live. I can confirm that. And yes, okay. So what I can also do, I'll wait in case anybody join the channel. Just a second. And as I said, I'll remain live. There's no specific agenda, but the idea is to be live for some time every weekend. So this is an opportunity to directly tune in, ask any questions. So happy to answer that. Just a second. Also opening YouTube. Okay, so no one has joined the chat yet, which is okay. So five people are watching, I see. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, do let me know. What I can also do is share my screen and quickly take you through the portfolios, which we have rebalanced this uh, Friday morning. Let me share that. Yeah, so I hope you can see my screen now. Uh, okay, so four of our portfolios, which are balanced basket, study gains, value investing, GoalFi smart picks, prime quality GoalFi picks, and innovating growth leaders were rebalanced on 18th evening. So they had the latest research available from Friday morning. And so today also is a good day to plan for new investments in case you have a monthly rebalance preference. I think let me see what is in it. So they've been doing pretty well. I think today also value investing is up by 3%. This is how the latest rebalance usually helps when you buy or when you invest more post the rebalance date. Generally, the research is most recent, and since we are a multi-factor theme, there will be a factor of momentum or there'll be a factor of alpha which would be added to our value portfolio as well. As I mentioned earlier, 70% of that small case would be the factor, which the name would suggest, which suggests value as a factor. But then the remaining would be 30% would be other factors such as momentum, alpha, depending on our own quant models. So yeah, value investing is doing pretty good today morning. Balance basket. Balance basket is flat but still stable, so that's good. Let me check more. Alpha I'll go to get to, but alpha anyhow will be rebalanced on a Monday evening. And since okay, so quality, prime quality also series also 2.5, nearly 3% up today, which is actually a good sign. And we can go to innovating growth leaders. So even innovating growth leaders are doing pretty good today morning. Uh, as I said, they all will be rebalanced now on 18th of Feb, and therefore, good time to get into them. And let me look at how Alpha and Momentum are doing. Alpha will be rebalanced on okay, Alpha has hit a 50% returns, which is good to see. Alpha is also doing pretty good today, 1.85% today. As you all know, right, these short-term numbers have no tangible meaning because it's ultimately a long-term game. But at the same time, it is always advisable to add additional amount or your investments to top up when the rebalance has happened. So since markets are closed on Monday, and we will all be busy in celebrating the temple. Uh, so markets are closed because they are holidays declared by the states. Exchange will be closed. So today is a full day of market. And Monday, we will be rebalancing in the evening. So you will have the updates on Alpha on Tuesday morning. As we always do, as you are aware, we do not change the whole composition, which is a part of our mandate. We change nearly 40% of the portfolio if needed, 30 to 40% if needed, depending on the market conditions. And if I go to Momentum Trade Masters, okay, so momentum is also in green but flat. All right, so good day today. Good day was yesterday. Yesterday also, whoever invested in the morning, I am sure they had a good run of a good couple of percent just yesterday because markets had a lot of momentum post the day before yesterday, kind of selling which happened by FIs, and see how the times have changed where. It was not very far when that kind of selling would lead to a circuit in the market. And this time it was just absorbed by our own retail LDI investors. And the next very day, which is yesterday, there was again back to a lot of momentum in the game. So we are still, we are cautiously bullish in a way because of Q1 budget quarter elections here, as I keep on saying. Because if you see over the last um, in the last 2 months, the markets have been very kind and given a lot of absolute returns, and therefore, absolutely, this will kind of average it over a period of the period of time. However, we are active fund management, and therefore we are active risk advisory team, and we believe in concentrated portfolios, which simply would mean that you are always have the latest research available at your disposal. Plus, whenever there are top-down signs of slowing down, we will be very quick to shift allocations into the right asset classes, whether it is moving the money to liquid or adding the hedge, whether it is via gold or any other debt instrument. So that's how we intend to kind of play. Let me see go back to YouTube if there is any. Uh, how much time should you spend researching stocks? The market has really run out of steam, prompting concerns about whether stocks ran far too far, too far and too fast. Yeah. And Yogesh has retracted his message. Okay. So your name is coming as unknown. So not sure your name, but thank you for asking. How much time should you spend time? Should you spend or should we or do we spend? Okay, so I'll answer in both. No, I'll answer both. We spend our whole day, our whole 24 by 7. We work Monday to Saturdays, like 9 to 7. So we are just doing the same thing. Researching a lot of companies, researching uh, the right picks from our framework point of view. Then, as you know, we are a quant-based team, and therefore we run a lot of backtesting models. We have our own factors which we deploy on the top of the existing factors we have, such as alpha, quality, value, momentum, volatility, and then we have our own layer of a lot of variables which we add. So our whole time goes into spend. We our whole time goes into researching on good companies. Whether how much you should spend, yeah, it's a hard-earned money, and when you invest in the markets, either you are doing it via some professional fund manager, whether it is your mutual fund manager when you buy an active managed fund, or whether it is your PMS manager, whether it is your investment advisor, whether you subscribe into a research analyst, you may, of course, should know what the manager is doing so that you are in control of where your money is being deployed. And if you want to be a DIY, I think there are enough resources on the web. There are immense amount of good material available on the internet, on YouTube, on very well curated, books and courses. Absolutely, this can be done DIY, but it will again remain as a part-time hobby. And as we say, right, hobbies do not pay well. They rather, ask us to kind of spend money on hobbies. We spend money on hobbies. They don't rather pay us, because we do it as a hobby. Money management is a full-time job, to be honest. So if you can spend enough time on researching on companies, you can absolutely start while in a full-time job. And do not try to get into active money management, into active trading or any of that sort. You can, of course, invest and do SIP route, if that was the question. Yogesh is saying, I have invest 20 lakhs now. Is that high risk? So can you clarify this? And also, I have been told to speak in Hindi. So question है कि I have invest 20 lakh now. Is there high risk? I'm not following the question. Do you have 20 lakh? सर आपसे मीटिंग कहाँ हो सकती है? मीटिंग करने के लिए आप मेरा मीटिंग कैलेंडर बुक कर लीजिए, मैं आपको पिंक कर रहा हूँ calendly.com/arya robin. That is my personal link to calendar. Please book it anytime to talk to me face to face. Also, if you want to speak to the team, मैंने वो भी link यहाँ पिंक कर दिया है in the chat. You can of course book that. It will also open up a Calendly. Feel free to book and book a meeting with me, with my team. और क्वेश्चन क्या है योगेश, अगर आप दोबारा बताएंगे कि आई हैव टू इन्वेस्ट 20 lakhs, इज देयर हाई रिस्क, और आई हैव इन्वेस्टेड, सो आई हैव टू इन्वेस्ट 20 lakh, is there a high risk? See, absolutely, 20 lakh is absolutely a very big amount, and I do not know your current risk profile. I do not know your current asset allocation. I do not know what is 20 lakh for you in terms of your total, asset allocation, in terms of the total capital you have for equity exposure. It could be too high if you have not kept your emergency fund, if you have not have a right asset allocation, or it could be, of course. So there is no real meaning of the number. Number is always relative to what you have in total. So बाकी high risk है, equity is subject to market risk, right? Please read all documents carefully. So that anyhow remains valid. Markets are, of course, at a peak in terms of valuations are still reasonable for a lot of companies. You have reasonable valuations. There's specific section of the sectors which are, say, sitting at a very high valuation. And when you manage money actively, it's our responsibility to kind of keep finding opportunities in the right space. And as I keep saying in my other live sessions as well, that we are bullish, absolutely bullish. We are in indicator bull run, which will last, which has started in 2020, and there's a very clear sign that it will continue. But any small correction is anyhow, a part of the game. And when markets are so away from mean, that small correction could very easily mean a couple of good percentage, right? Like a 5-7%, and that might feels like that when markets were falling 2 days ago, around 2%, 3%, Bank Nifty was 4%. It was like a crash. Uh, people feel starting like crash, and they start supporting fixed deposits, and the entire terminology on Twitter world changes with a single day slight reversion to mean. Um, and markets are here to stay. We are in a very strong, macroeconomic placement of, you know, eh, whether you talk about the young working population we have in terms of overall, or we talk about the financialization of the Indian savings, which is now coming into the equity industry. We are still 4% of GDP in terms of mutual fund flows. There is a lot to grow. We are 3.7 trillion GDP. We are soon becoming 5 trillion. Why not, right? So have a long-term view. Did you decide whether you want to do a DIY passive form of investment? Index funds are a beautiful instrument to go passively. You don't have to pay any fund management fees. You only pay that kind of 0.1, 0.2% for tracking error. And index investing is a wonderful way to grow your wealth slowly and steadily. When you're a game of active money management, whether it is an active managed mutual fund, whether it is an active management research advisory, of course, you pay fees. And then you are in the game of trying to generate some alpha for yourself. And that is responsibility of your fund manager, absolutely, to kind of offer you that alpha, whether it is a PMS or any other, kind of service. Um, so to answer your question, I have 20 lakhs. Is a high risk? Absolutely very high risk. But make sure that your emergency funds, your asset allocation is all in place, and then of course go ahead. Speak to us one to one if you like to. What is your view about railway and defense? I mean, sectoral view, PSUs as such, as you know, right? I mean, are on a they have come out of a multi-year consideration, and what you are seeing today, what you were seeing yesterday in terms of all railway defense stocks, all small cases which are theme-based, which are focusing on these themes, are hitting on the top. Um, I think there's a lot of investment coming in terms of overall PSU space, and there's also uh, getting a lot of material on on the sectoral. Okay, Yogesh has said thank you. Right. Yeah, so Yogesh, feel free to, as I said, right, please call book career, and we'll talk one to one. We'll understand more about your asset allocation. We'll understand more about your risk profile, and then we can guide you, more than a generic answer. Okay. So, unknown, you can tell me your name so that it's easier for me. But yeah, absolutely that. Uh, what we believe, right, as a team, we that is the reason we do not have right now any team-based portfolios, where there are suggestions coming where do create a EV theme-based portfolio, a defense theme-based portfolio. We as a team are very bullish on wealth management space, whether all the good broking house in India, Motilal Oswal, Angel One, Anand Rathi, good JM Financials, all good players. We are thinking to curate a basket which could be basket for the next 5 years, and that wealth management theme as such is the next big thing. We are still uh, trying to avoid any theme based. Baskets. The only reason being when we create quant based baskets and factor based baskets, the factors takes care of those themes naturally. So if I'm not sure if you're an investor in GoalFi small cases, but you will realize if you are that even though we are not theme-based portfolios, there will be a good weightage of the sectors such as defense or railway as an example, or PSU as an example in our portfolios, because that naturally are those sectors which are right now in momentum, which right now have alpha, which right now are looking at a very reasonable valuations. So I would say, unless you're a full-time kind of investor, and you spending a lot of time on screener data from APIs, Trendline, and all of these handy tools, and doing a lot of research, reading PNLs, listening to the earnings report, listening to the con calls, reading annual statements. Um, sector specific themes are generally have a duration. till they last, and then they fade away. Our suggestion is always remain diversified from a perspective of multiple sectors, but remain concentrated from a number of positions you carry, whether you do it DIY, you do it via someone. As soon as the position, the number of stocks you keep in your account goes beyond a number, you lose track. You have no idea of what's going on. And I mean, that's what you should focus on. Plus, yeah, that was to my answer to the unknown question here, but unknown participant here. But yeah, if you have more, do let me know. Uh, Yogesh, um, okay, okay, Yogesh, any other questions? I think it's already 20 minutes. I am live. Um, Anything else you would like me to cover? Anyone? So this will be a usual chit chat session where I can talk about uh, how we are doing. And as I said the last week, thank you so much for all the trust so far. We had feedback from the last weekly session where people did mention about is it fair to have a weekly rebalance? Is it unfair to not having a long-term rebalance? Or there were a mix of questions, and I think if you ask me, Alpha Blend market leaders is our top hit product market fit, right? Okay, so your small case is only considered small case. I found that's why I am interested in it. Yeah. So yeah, so as I said, right? So I mean, say I'm not saying diversification is bad, right? Diversification is a good thing. You need to have diversification, but diversification can happen by not deploying, not concentrating your portfolio into one theme, into railways, into defense, into one theme, right? Into one sector, fertilizers, and right now we see in I mean insurance, right? So you can still keep very very diversified portfolio by putting your money in the top 4 5 sectors, which are right now in a good, in kind of good. They have good tailwinds. Whereas when it comes to number of stocks you buy, if you are really a 40 stock, 30 stock, 50 stock kind of guy, you should invest in mutual funds. That's the right way to go about it. Because there the fund manager is managing a big corpus of money, couple of thousand crores. He can deploy your money at the right time and he see the opportunity. You may pay him 10,000 a month. He may keep it in cash. He may not invest, but he'll still give you an average, NAV of the amount you have paid. So there, it is fair to have a big portfolio, 40 stocks, 30 stocks. When you're doing individual, like in your own Demat account, it's very unfair when I see 20 stocks, 25 stocks, 30 stocks people are buying. Unless your corpus is very, very big. Even if corpus is very big, maybe I mean I would still multiple crores, right? Also then I'll still go with 15 names, 10, 15 names, unless you know what you're doing. I mean, diversification also suggests that you do not know what you're doing. So that's also something which we are not too much in favor of. And therefore concentration, we don't want to go below 5 because that's very, very, sometimes can be biased. And more than 10 is something we will never go, is what I believe it, depending on, how much corpus we manage in future. Uh, so already thank you for, buying 6.5 crore worth of equities via our small cases as of today. And yeah, and that's what I was talking about, yeah, when I was interrupted. So Alpha is one of our top, interested. I mean, people are taking a lot of interest in our Alpha. A big amount of corpus, more than 40% of the corpus is invested in Alpha. Our highest, revenue is from Alpha, and that's where, and it's not that there are investors who are putting a small amount of money. I have people who are investing 40 lakhs, 60 lakhs, you know, in portfolios which are in small cases which are weekly rebalanced. So, and these are very informed investors, right? and they have capital. They are in the industry. They are in the sector, in this from a long period, and putting amount in a weekly rebalance portfolio. So that speaks about where is the product market fit, what the users would like to do, and therefore that is the very reason we have two portfolios as weekly, which are momentum heavy and alpha heavy, and the other one which are growth and value and quality and low volatility is absolutely monthly. We also have private small cases, so which means that anybody who wish to talk to us, wants to get his risk profiling done, and want to create a private basket for them, we do that. We offer research advisory there as well. Their minimum capital size is 10 lakh for a basket, and we charge on the AUM fees there versus a fixed fee. So if you're interested, sir, in 50, 40, for 50 stocks, how can someone get financially free? I think, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Concentrated portfolio is the way to go. That's where you should also focus on. Yeah, so anybody who is willing to kind of chat to me, talk to me face to face, one-on-one, please feel free to just book a call or call us at our I also ping you that chat number. So that's the number which I can access, the team can access, right? If you just ping on chat.golfio.app, uh, that would lead to the WhatsApp number where you can chat. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all from me. Nothing, and nothing more. I think I already kind of live now for a long period. Good to speak to you again on this weekend. And what I can do, I can make some videos on each of our small cases, which are not, this kind of boring in terms of speaking slowly and just observing the questions, but rather more focused on uh, what you would like to know in terms of our quant methods, our back testing, our research process, and what exactly is alpha strategy from our point of view, what exactly is a quality portfolio from our point of view. So what I am thinking, I have also started updates on Smallcase. Updates, if you go to Smallcase app, you have a new feature called update, right, in the third tab. So we have also started running updates now once a week. So we'll continue to do that. All right, guys. If there are no more questions, I think I can stop the. Okay, sir. Do U.S. elections going to affect our market? Okay, so it's very broad, right? Macroeconomic ask. Uh, Indian markets have historically had a lot of see any global economic or geopolitical uh, has, and of course when it comes to US, right, has kind of impacts on global economy because that's how the world is kind of right now uh, placed with US dollar being the core currency. Whether it affects the market or not, as I keep on saying, believe in what you are doing, and markets will have corrections. Markets are anyhow have to come. Reversion to mean has to happen. Even in our own team, we keep talking about that the total market cap of our market is 4 trillion, where the GDP is more than that, right? So it has to ultimately say either the GDP has to catch up or the market cap has to kind of come back to the mean. So whether something will specifically affect is never it never happens like that, except when COVID happened and it was no one knows what's going next, and we are just panicking. We were just panicking and we had a fall of 50%, right? But you see how the recovery happened over the. Okay. So, okay. So some more questions coming, so I'll answer them now. So yeah. So whether they're going to affect our market, it may. Nobody knows. But the point is, does it really matter to you? I think you should remain invested. You should follow if you are into active money management. Follow the updates regularly. Believe in what you're doing. Buy the right quality companies. Buy the companies at the right valuation. and buy, right? And then you are always on the right side of the game. Okay, Akshay saying thank you. Thank you, Akshay. And Gani saying, prior to small case, do you have prior experience offering similar advisory services? I want to check your track record for long term as this is a new small case. All right. Gani, feel free to book a meeting with me. Right. Let me talk about what I have been doing over the last, say, 16 years of me working. Uh, I am being in the I'm in the market from 2011. In my first demat account with Share Khan. I remember in 2011, and I've been very active in the markets from 2015. Uh, and then, from discretionary kind of trading to algo-based work to building quant models. The journey has evolved. A big part of my career I've spent in HSBC. Nearly 14 years I've spent with the bank. And prior to starting small case, when I talk about advisory, I mean, of course, apart from my corporate career, which you can, of course, check on LinkedIn or speak to me one-on-one. Uh, I has been, a personal finance enthusiast guy, and if you look at in this channel, you will find 4-year-old videos which I have on the channel, on this channel itself, right, in which we are right now live, where I talk about whether it is about asset allocation, about the demystifying of indexes, and even the Nifty strategy indices, which is our core of our work we do, which is multi-factor investing. I spoke it, I used to speak about it over this channel itself. So do speak to me for more about what I used to do in the bank, what I have done in the last 15, 16 years of my total work experience. And we'll take you through our detailed track record in terms of our backtesting and our processes, our understanding of the space. So please, yeah, please feel free to think. Sure. सर, अगर अगर आप आज 20 इयर्स के होते और आपके पास 30 लाख होते, तो आप कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करते और आप खुद के 20 ईयर ओल्ड वर्जन को क्या एडवाइस करते? ओके, तो आप 20 इयर्स के आई थिंक। सो मैं 38 का हूँ। आई एम 38। जस्ट टू क्लैरिफाई, मैं 18 साल पहले क्या कर रहा था? 18 साल पहले मैं आई थिंक इतना इतना इन्फॉर्म नहीं था जितना आप हो। Of course, I was getting into doing my masters and masters, yeah, was doing into getting into a mode of starting my job. 21, yeah, और ले राइट, हम पढ़ाई कर रहा था, राइट, कॉलेज में था मैं। लेकिन 20 साल का होता और मेरे पास 30 लाख होते, वाओ, आई विश व्हेन आई वाज 20 years I had that, I mean that's a very good situation to be in. So मेरे पास अगर 30 लाख होते, देखो ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा इनकम्प्लीट रह जाता है। 30 लाख होते, 30 लाख इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए होते, या 30 लाख टोटल मेरी नेटवर्थ होती? अगर मैं मान के चलो कि मेरे पास 30 लाख इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए होते, और मेरी नेटवर्थ और ज़्यादा है मेरे पास, मैं आई डोंट नो 20 years में मैं, ना ही मेरी शादी हुई है, ना ही मेरे डिपेंडेंट्स हैं, मेरे पेरेंट्स हैं, बट एंड मैं जॉब अभी स्टार्ट करने वाला हूँ, या कुछ अपना काम करने वाला हूँ। सो मैं मेरे पास 30 लाख रुपए होते, तो आई थिंक आई वुड हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन माई सेल्फ। दैट शुड हैव बीन द फर्स्ट गोल, राइट। मैं क्या करता, मैं तो 3-4 साल आराम से, उसके बाद मेरे पास पैसे हैं, मैं उसको अपने ऊपर इन्वेस्ट करता। आई वुड हैव डन मोर एंड मोर। आप चाहें, जैसे आई डोंट नो आपका इंडस्ट्री क्या है, बट देयर आर सो ब्यूटीफुल कोर्सेज, राइट, लाइक CFA, रीड अबाउट, स्टडी अबाउट CFA, do pass exams when you're 20. uh, Such well curated material, whether you see in FRM courses, you see in CFA courses, you see in CMT course, right? Such well articulated material. तो मैं अपने ऊपर इन्वेस्ट करता, I would have invested a good amount of money on myself for my education. And when it comes to, अगर क्वेश्चन का आस्क अल्टीमेटली वही था कि मैं मार्केट में क्या करता, तो मैं अपने 20 साल के वर्जन को यही एडवाइस करता कि फोकस ऑन बिल्डिंग योर नॉलेज इन टर्म्स ऑफ एंड डू इट राइट, रादर देन स्टार्ट कर दो। आप जो भी सोच रहे हो कि मैं, अभी आप कॉलेज में हो, मुझे जहाँ तक अज्यूम कर रहा हूँ, और आपके पास 30 लाख है, विच इज़ अ गुड थिंग। उसको अच्छे से आप डाइवर्सिफाई करो, उस पर keep a good amount for your own education for doing the right courses. And if you're in this industry, I'll suggest start doing CFA course. Then run equity valuation, run technical analysis, right? All of that, because it all of combine fundamental, technical, quant, all helps combine. Learn how to code. If you don't know how to code, of course, ChatGPT can do a lot of work for you, but when you know how to code, when you know things like Python, so it's become so simple that you just pull data right from any broker for your own purpose, pay 2,000 rupee per month for getting data, just compute some models on it and all of that. प्लस आप इन्वेस्ट करते हैं ऑफ कोर्स अगर क्वेश्चन पे वहीं पे है तो आप यू शुड हैव यू शुड इन्वेस्ट द मनी एंड प्लान इट इन अ वे दैट you have goals to meet. Maybe you want to marry in 28, you want to have kids by 30, you want to say retire full time for a full time job by 45. So you know how to structure this, next 15 years when you're 20 or next 20 years when you are 20, so that you keep learning, keep having a cash flow from your income or your job, keep investing the money so compounding can kick in and generate a lot of wealth, right? By the time you're 45. Yeah, that was my answer. और कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते हो आप? Thanks for the advice and my pleasure. All right, guys. मैं तो चल बोलता रहूंगा लगातार because I like to speak. So I will wait for all of you to book a call with me and we'll get from there. And as I said, markets are very promising. Don't wait, don't worry about the volatility. Markets will correct because that's how things go up and down in life. Your heartbeat is always like this. So it never goes in one line. So things when they go in one line, they're absolutely correct. So, things which move in a day 15%, they the moves hardly sustain, they ultimately correct. So never ride, don't try to catch a bus which is running very fast, right? Wait for it to kind of consolidate, wait for it to stop, and then board that bus. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Speak to you. Take care. Have a lovely weekend and happy holiday on Monday for the Ram Temple. So enjoy Jai Shri Ram. Take care. What's this video now? When I'm not able to go back to my Zoom, that was a problem I faced last time as well. I'm not able to, guys. Okay, there's a question. How much money needs to be financially free? So, see, the definition of financially free is different for everybody. You may have a monthly expense of 50,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. I do not know your amount you need to be financially free. Roti kapda makan is only you need to be financially free. If you have food, if you have house, if you have, clothes to wear, and you can help with I mean, you can continue your education, your family, then you're financially free, right? And then whether that is a 50,000 a month का cash flow for you or a 2 lakh a month का cash flow for you, totally depend on you. अगर आपको वो नंबर पता है और इन्फ्लेशन है, एक बेसिक इन्फ्लेशन है 5-6% का, आप एक सिंपल कैलकुलेटर कोई भी ऑनलाइन यूज कर लीजिए, आप हमें पिंग कर दीजिए, विल कनेक्ट यू टू अ फाइनेंशियल प्लानर एंड आपको हम बता देंगे कि व्हाट अमाउंट यू नीड टू बी फाइनेंशियली फ्री in terms of your requirement of money in a cash flow perspective, and when do you want to kind of start that journey of getting a cash flow back. So how much time you need to invest money to get to a stage where you can then start withdrawing that capital for the rest of your end of life. So number is not fixed yet, but जो आप का अपना खर्चे हैं, आपका अपना cash flow है, उस पर depend करता है how much you need. But we need much less than what we think we need. So and otherwise it's just a rat race, right? So we need much less than we think we need. So उस पर थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए and do not think about financial freedom from a perspective of कि काम ना करना पड़े. यू नो काम तो करना ही है लाइफ में, जब तक आप कर सकते हो काम करिए. जस्ट दैट योर कैश फ्लो शुड बी कल we met a client yesterday, right? उनका डिविडेंड इनकम ही उनका घर चला रहा है. I mean, that is the kind of client we are meeting these days. So that is the kind of financial freedom you everybody kind of look for, right? All right. So maybe I'll try. Otherwise, I'll do a forced start of my laptop as it is not